or specific terms to be determined, but there will be slowness going over the Otter Creek Bridge and one lane most likely. Our LEMP was submitted earlier this month, as I mentioned last time. I'm still waiting for it to be posted on the state's website, but at the moment we're still good on that. The LHMP is still a problem. I'm pushing ACRPC for action, and I'm getting no response other than the one I got saying that they would have something to me by the end of the day, and that was 2 weeks ago, and I've still heard nothing. So Maggie, I think maybe you and I need to talk about something about what we can do about that in the near future. And as everybody's probably noticed, especially driving down Panton Road, that the water levels are still pretty high. Although the weather service says we're not probably going to get any flooding, but the water is still pretty high. And that's it for me. Are there any questions?
I don't think so, Bob. Just to remind you that the wheels of government sometimes move slowly.
Yes, and sometimes backwards.
Absolutely. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Let us move on to the assistant clerk discussion.
Just reporting that there has been one application received and one other person who said they can send in an application. It's been advertised in the House Independent online print.
You saw that. Yeah. I think it's important to be a little patient on that and see what happens. Oh, yeah. And VLCT or no?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. All right, let us move on to public comment. And for the people who are zooming in, if you would like to participate in public comment, please show your face on there because we record these meetings. We're just not going to listen to a voice. So it's really important to see who you are and what you look like because we'd like to see who you are. Okay, anybody here for public comment?
Well, I would just like to say that, you know, there were quite a few people that turned out for the planning commission meeting. There wasn't really anybody there that was in favor of the 300 acres in solar panels. You know, I'm not quite sure why the Public Utility Commission has a final say on it. If the townspeople don't want it, I'm not quite sure how that works. But there's quite a bit of opposition to it. And I just like the board needs to hear that and take it into consideration.
We are listening. We are paying attention. You know, we do see the things that go on. You know, I watch the news, and also some of the stuff is misinformation. Just for example, is like on these solar fields that GMP is running over here. After 30 years, they will be dismantled and they will be removed. They're just not leaving in there like the old idea of the old satellite dishes that are broken, they're swinging in the wind for the next 40 years. No, after 30 years, they're gone. They pick them up and they leave the site the way they found it. That is in part of the agreements in all the areas that is part of the public utilities that the town of Patton has any authority. So just, that was one example of a misinformation that somebody said. So I just wanted to clear that up. So.
On Green Mountain, so people over there.
Yeah.
They say they're gonna dig out 30 years. Do they have the option to renew that for another period?
Those panels only exist for 30 years and then they wear out. Their efficiency starts to
replace them.
They reduce it. Well, the lease is for only 30 years. The Wasservelds own that land and they have a lease for only 30 years. So
they could probably have to renegotiate if Wasserveld wanted.
Well, then they would have to go through the whole process again. I believe. I am not positive on that, but I'm not sure exactly.
What are you talking about?
Well, they've been there for almost 10, so.
It's an optimism.
I might make it another 20.
Yeah. So, anybody else? Public comment?
Yes, go ahead.
Sure.
Could you just tell us who you are?
State your names, yeah, I'm sorry, please,
My name
everybody's,
is Kathy Timmons.
yeah, so, for the record.
Hi, how are you? I'm Reed Wills, representing the solar project. And we just wanted to, hear a lot of the opposition. And what we wanted to do was to hold a couple of public sessions. And, the first one, just sort of hear directly feedback from residents as far as what issues they would like to see addressed. And then secondly, to do an open house. We feel we're hearing issues of concern about how it's going to affect the big shed, wildlife being impacted, and things of that nature. And we'd like to show you, how we go about addressing all of those issues. So we're doing this work at a number of different sites. A couple in Vermont, some in other neighboring states. And we've been able to successfully get the community comfortable that we can execute on these successfully. I don't know if using town hall would be something that would be appropriate, or if we should get a private venue. And we just ask for the board's feedback on that. What would be the most appropriate venue for that type of an activity.
Can they use town hall? Sure, it's a public meeting.
It's a public meeting, yeah, I mean, just
absolutely, town hall's available.
enough warning, it's easier for
Yeah.
people know where to get to. and
Yeah,
get
Can
them.
I give you a rental cover?
We don't have a rental.
Just a sign, yeah.
It's just an agreement that you'll leave it the way you found it,
Okay,
so.
very good.
Yeah.
All right, well, we appreciate that, and we will, be communicating further with the town on the date. And, hopefully we can, address some of the concerns people have.
Great.
Great.
Anybody else here for public comment? Yes,
So I'm Cindy Cook.
Cindy Cook.
Well, I pretty much reiterate what Kathy said, that there was a lot of, opposition to this. I started a petition, and thus far on my petition, I've got probably 98% of the houses I've stopped at have been opposed. And then the others need more information. So I feel like there's a definite high rate of people really not wanting to see this. And a couple things I understood, I don't know if it's true or not, I have to look into it further, but I understand that one of two high considerations Public Utilities Commission takes into effect is, number one, not wanting to use viable farmland, which all this is. Champlain Valley is Vermont, is the farm mecca of Vermont. This is the Vermont, the big farm part of Vermont. So that would really hurt, especially Marzakowskis who want to stay farming, want to do crops, and this would really be a huge detriment to the farm. The other is, again, the case of the wildlife and the migrating birds and wildlife management of that creek. And that's another thing, Public Utility Commissions, I believe, is another high priority. They want to avoid an area that is close to that. So I just feel like there's a lot of other areas around the state that isn't prime farmland, prime open land, and scenic land, plenty of other options that would be much better than this.
So it's the Marzakowski's land, I just want to make sure, right? Is that
Part
the
of it.
case? Part of it,
Yeah.
okay. And they don't want
The people here in Vermont do not want,
it? No, the Marzakowski,
in Vermont, here do not want.
They
okay,
have a family in Rhode Island that
okay,
Who are actually the owners of the property.
That I,
Guardians.
Well,
that's a matter for the Marzakowskis to settle.
Yes.
yeah, it sounds like internal,
Yeah, I am not,
situations, we'll not deal with
I
that.
am not in the wasp nest of.
yeah, I'm just curious.
I mean, one thing I will say is WCAX did not show on the news is the scenic view from 22A. down through there. I mean, when those of us that live over there, you can look across and see the solar field on the hill down the road here. And that's not very nice to look at.
You can see, Bosterville solar field.
We can't see this one, but if you go down the road just a little bit and go up another higher elevation, you can see the one down there.
And the one by Overshan too. And the one across the tracks from Overshan. Yes, I understand.
And of course, coming right up to my back lawn, I don't know if there's other solar fields that come up with private persons' backyard. Of course, I'm very much against.
I believe that one on 22 Hill, when you're going up the hill heading south, is right next to the guy's house too.
On Woodman Hill.
Yeah,
Okay.
Woodman Hill, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you're going up Woodman Hill, there's a whole bunch of solar panels on the east side of the street. As you're going up the hill heading south towards Middlebury, there's a guy who sells,
Christmas trees, that place was, or?
where the guy's selling Christmas trees.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Off 2020.
Yeah,
that's a small, that's a penny compared to what they're talking about.
I understand, but she asked, there's no
Yeah.
solar panels on the side. I was just
Some of
pointing
them
that
have
out.
backyards.
I think it's hard for people to comprehend. You know, when I talk to people about this, it's hard for the layperson to comprehend really the massive scale. I know there's 4,000 acres of solar fields out west and whatever, but for a little town of Canton. So we're thinking of doing maybe an aerial view of everything, and really let people see the actual scope, the actual fields, because, you know, unless they get out there and walk it, I mean, people have no clue really where it is,
Mhm.
or where it goes. So I think they need to be informed about that and really see it, you know, or get a drone and.
I think if you just did Google Maps and marked it off on Google Maps, satellite, you could do that if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
It gives-
visuals help.
Yeah.
And
Like,
that,
get a view of
that
it.
would be an actual,
The actual
where,
outlet,
where it should, you know, that's your right to do that, you know,
Yeah.
so, you know, I'm
Well,
just
it's also
telling.
you're right, and if you want to, and then again, open forum, if they want to present, you know, you're welcome to grab time and kind of have like a debate format if you want, not like contentious, but you know, open air and have
What
some
is the
thoughts.
size of this?
That's a 5 gigawatt solar field.
How many
Like
acres?
acres.
Oh,
I don't know. You have to
I
look up.
forgot,
I'm sorry.
yes.
But that would be a suggestion. You know, it sounds like that would make sense. So people who are here can kind of see both sides.
Anything else?
Hi, I'm Anne Grace, I'm on 22A. I am definitely opposed to this, solar field. I live right on 22A. And I know problems there. But taking up the value of the beauty of the land that we have is a big opposition. Because, you know, on the land that it is. I mean, the scope that, how big this project is, which is unfathomable. You guys.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of land, a lot of beauty, a lot of value taken out of our everyday life. Yes, you know, it's right there, but still, you know, do we want to change Vermont, so it's, okay, do we want to take the beauty out of Vermont? You know, we live in a very gorgeous area. I've traveled here, there, everywhere, Florida, California, Tennessee. You know, I've done some traveling, and what gets me back home to stay in Vermont is the view that I have. Okay, I have some phenomenal sunsets of the hour, that's amazing. they have, the wildlife, what's gonna happen to the wildlife? Because, we have bear over there, you have fisher cats on your game camera, Cindy?
Bobcats.
Bobcats, we have bobcats, okay?
That's good. You do too.
Yeah.
There's deer there, because I've seen multiple deer running into the field, I've had footprints in my yard. I've seen eagles in our area, so I mean, what's it gonna do to our wildlife? That's wild, that's free. Or what's it gonna do to them? Because you're gonna go in, you're gonna disrupt their habitat, you're gonna put up these panels and stuff. Some of the other ones won't come back, because there's no habitat. We're taking their habitat. And I don't go to these select board meetings, I don't go to any government things, but this is something I believe in. And I am totally opposed to this proposal. That's all I got right now.
Okay,
Thanks, Jen.
Can I add?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just talking about that. So when they were taping it, like, Debbie says, you lost the northern harriers, speaking of that, northern harriers were still around. And that's their habitat for sure. Kathy and Chuck can say how they're there here. They nest in swampy areas down there and they hunt all those fields. So, certainly it's huge birds, especially even the migrations of Dead Creeks, all the snow geese, the Canadian geese, they all follow the Dead Creek corridor and that corridor through the valley when they migrate. I got pictures in my back lawn of snow geese, Canadian geese on their land, Ozakowskis, they stopped to eat soybeans and corn. That won't be there. These people will be taking it up.
okay. Anybody else?
No, just wanted to share with everybody, maybe something you all are reading or seeing that we're not seeing. So, we started our project in 2018, before there was a town energy plan. But the town energy plan itself, when we became more familiar with that and looked at our project and actually tried to make some changes that are consistent with that, it talks about 300 acres of area that would be the right area for solar. I just want to share that with you. Because, like you say, you're not coming to the meetings, you're not reading the plan or anything like that. We're investors. We're not here locally. Our job is to come in here and listen and make sure we're hearing what you're saying. But I would also ask you to look at what we looked at when we were trying to make decisions about where's a good place to invest. And so, it didn't just spring on us out of the, blue sky that this was a good area for solar. It says that in the preferred energy plan. It talks about a 300-acre area. Our acre is slightly different. Our acreage is slightly different. Some of it's in and some of it's out. But the scale of what we're doing and what is upsetting people, I just think it's important to understand that we're not coming at you out of the blue with that. That is in your preferred energy. They talk about a 37 megawatt project, 37 megawatts of solar capacity. Ours is 50. And that's because in the last 5 years, the efficiency of the equipment is a little better. And I believe they also thought of it as a bunch of smaller projects instead of one bigger one, which can be a little more efficient. So I just, would ask that we want to open up the dialogue and exchange, that we understand, you're feeling that it's going to disrupt life here, and it's going to disrupt wildlife. I have been working in environmental, trying to do environmental improvement since the late 80s. And last thing I want to do is disrupt wildlife in this area or hurt people's quality of life. So we would just ask that you give us a chance to have a discussion, hear what you have to say, listen to some of our experts. They know about habitat. We've walked the area. We will not be covering everything blindly with solar panels. We have to go through a very rigorous process of where you can put things and where you can't. And we understand that, you have a right to participate, and at the end of the day, it may work out, it may not. We understand that. That's why we live in America, that's why we love living in America. But we do want you to understand our perspective a little. So that's, kind of how we got here. And we don't mean to shock anybody with it, but that's what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Reed.
Yeah,
I just have a question. A couple meetings ago, you guys voted to hire a lawyer. My question is that because of what was in the minutes, that the solar company would pay for the lawyer if the town changed the plan, or that's not word for word, but if you
No.
read that, that was kind of what it meant.
no, that was not even the intent. We hired a lawyer that is an expert on solar fields. It would not be a good decision not to have somebody who knows this backwards and forwards for the benefit of the town and the citizens that live here. And our other attorney is not familiar or have any expertise in solar fields. So this person is representing the town of Panton, and they are having conversations with the solar people who are interested in putting that field up on what form of it. And there's an agreement on how payments are made. But it isn't on an agreement of what you stated. That is not true. That is that they represent us, and matter of fact, they conversed with me and also Mary Rudd, and Megan Cormick. So that's how they converse with. People have called her there, but she does not represent them. She represents the town of Panton.
So you have a local lawyer in Middlebury.
No. Shoreham,
in Toronto.
Wait, do you mean our regular attorney?
which
Or
is,
the one that was hired because of the solar?
we have Benj Putman is the representative of our day-to-day operations of our attorney. And then Leslie Cadwell, thank you, is our representative for the solar field.
And she's in Middlebury.
No, Shoreham.
That's, I didn't know that either.
She is an expert, recommended from our previous attorney, who was unavailable, Ben Marks, who used to be the select board chairman for the town of Cornwall, who worked us through the Green Mountain Power solar field. So that's who we are represented by.
Great.
Anybody else? Any questions? Sir? Nope. Nope.
Reed, yeah, get in touch with Maggie as far as some dates and
Yeah,
yeah, form.
yes, please.
We appreciate the ability.
Yep.
To use the town hall.
Absolutely. All right, if there's no more questions from anybody on Zoom or on the floor, we will move on. Let us go to communications when Ms. McCormick is prepared for us.
I'm prepared. The only thing I have is, since the agenda, just today, the homeward bound contract came.
Oh, yay.
She can review and decide on at the next meeting if you want, or review now.
Is it the same as last year? Or
Yeah, the $650, for no charge for brought in dogs, and $450 if with a 75 per dog fee.
Now we
I don't
have a
believe
dog
there was a
warden.
Yeah,
Oh, I
zero
saw
of
that.
these dogs were brought.
Reese?
What?
What's his name? Reese?
Yes. So is there a difference on bringing with a dog warden since
No,
there's
but
not
they
a
just, and
cheaper
they
price?
called me and they know that Reese is now a dog warden, animal
Contact.
control officer.
Okay. We can review it now. If it's the
Okay,
same,
yeah,
I'd
it's-
make a motion. To,
And
yeah.
there were no dogs brought homeward bound.
Okay, great. Yay.
Yeah, we did option 2, right?
Yes, the 450.
The 600, you mean?
No, because there haven't been dogs brought to Homeward Bound in at
Yeah,
least 2 years. Last year, we opted for the $450 with a $75 per
gotcha.
dog fee.
Okay. Yeah, if you wanna, make a motion to keep option 1.
Yeah. I'd like to make a motion to keep the contract with Homeward Bound, option 1. Is there a second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will-
Sign it, great, thank you.
Sure.
That's all I have.
And you have bills for us.
Right, that's
Not
next
there.
one.
Yep.
Anything
Do you have
else?
bars or do you wanna do?
Yes, I will talk about bars. Okay, briefly about the Virgins Area Rescue Squad. We had a meeting on Thursday of last week that I attended for 2 hours with them. And basically, we kind of talked about their performance and how to improve their performance. We also talked about having a single contract with all 5 towns. Presently, we have 5 separate contracts with 5 separate towns, and we want to eliminate that problem and just have one contract with them. And with the understanding, we also want to change their board. Their board is now representative, basically, of BAR's members are on the BAR's board. What we're looking to do is eventually change it to all private citizens are on the board to watch and to be a part of the board's actions and how it works.
Are they up for that?
They seem to be, yes. Financially, they have to be because all these towns commit money for them. If they don't, they wouldn't be in. No
How many
longer.
members on the board?
They would, I think they have 4 or 5 right now. And they have like regular meetings and then they go into executive session to talk about certain things and, you know. So, but there's a few people in Panton that are interested in doing this. A guy I've met who is a physician who I won't go with his name yet until I talk to him more, but he has experience as a surgeon in New York, and also he's worked in the ER many hours and many times. So he is very knowledgeable on that stuff. So it would be an ideal candidate to make sure that we have somebody that we are control on some of the things on bars. Everybody on the towns are basically in favor of that. We are joined together. We are strong as a group. We are going to look at their financials, where they spend their money and how they're spending their money. That is something we're concerned about. And again, what we're really concerned about is performance, and that has to improve. And we have told them that. So that is our bars thing. And then the next thing that communicating is the bypass or the boundaries with the town of Panton. The town of Panton has, you got, nope. So we need to call him to find out, or should I call him?
That might be the right answer at this point, because Mary sent him an email that I have not seen a response to, asking him about the contract for the grant.
Yeah, for the $10,000, right?
The boundary study grant.
Yes. So what the agreement was is that both towns would come up with $10,000, a grant we would get from Addison Regional Planning. I believe we have been awarded that grant.
We were told we were.
Yes. And so, and then from there, we are looking to then use that money to hire a surveyor to actually mark the boundaries of Virgins and Panton, exactly where they are. No longer, I think it's there. It will be GPSed out. Exactly. We don't know about the other 2 towns that are involved, but that's not our fish or our jar. So that's where we kind of stand on that. All right. Nothing?
I've got nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay, let us move on to bills and payroll.
Because there's not an assistant clerk at the point, I have brought you both the warrant and the bills, so you can check the bill amounts against the warrant if you're so
Okay.
inclined.
Okay,
And here's this is the stipends, and this is the payroll.
start that. All right. Excavator loan, that's the excavator, okay, the 873. Okay. And 55 gallon drum of 10W30, 1,300, 1,400 bucks.
So Maggie, Susanna's hours, are they done or she?
Yeah, that's the end, and paid out for.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay. What's the Holly mowing?
That's the 23 cemetery. That's
Oh.
not covered by
So we have to pay
Adam's
that.
Christmas graces.
I'm just thinking they just dump that on our laps, you know? Yes, it was, thank
Yeah,
you
yeah.
very much.
Teresa texted me, she's like, ask, but she must have got it.
I talked to this one.
Oh, you did?
She's like, I need that.
She just,
Come on.
I think she's doing taxes tonight or something.
That's my money for Italy. It's like, okay.
It's not gonna get you far in Italy.
Well, it's like,
Farther than it gets you here.
and you did end up going to the Rick's.
I did. Did you go?
Yes, I did, yeah. And
After me?
yes, and
See my
I,
name in the book.
I saw Jeff Stone and, you know, and his wife, and I met I met Rick's brother.
Yeah, he's a hoot.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Who's it for? What was it for?
For Rick's mom. Rick didn't. It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the accounts payables and timesheets as they are.
Yep, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, this ends our regular scheduled meeting, and we are going to make a motion to move into an executive session to talk about personnel and basically that. So, if we could see you guys later. Thanks for all coming. I appreciate it. I hope this was helpful for everybody. You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Cindy.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, cheers.
See you later.
Good night.
Oh, no, you're already in. You can't escape,
Did you all
Melissa.
go down or did you live around?
Yes, we will. We'll accept.
So you're up here for a little while?
All right, take care. Thank you. I will make the motion first. I'd like to make a motion to move an executive session to talk about personnel, and with an additional of adding Melissa Dayton to our executive session. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Hi, Melissa Dayton, yay.
So they come up just for this meeting?